dedicated women's league to fill the gap between college and professional soccer. A league that's committed to advancing women's soccer, focusing on the development of the female soccer player during the summer months, elevating the competition to help each player reach that next level, providing high-level soccer for collegiate players, aspiring and former professionals, and international stars. Operating with professional standards because players and fans deserve an exceptional experience. Uniting players that inspire and are inspired. We are passionately growing the women's game. The future is bright for United Women's Soccer. It's time. Be part of the movement.
Man, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the UWS Kickoff Show. We are excited. It is week 8. We are getting closer and closer to National Championship weekend to be determined. Even though we know where it's at, we just can't tell you where it's at because we're not supposed to. We're in trouble. But hey, I'm John. This is Megan. Megan's feeling under the weather, and I actually feel really terrible because last Saturday during our show, I had a fumble and forgot it was your birthday. So I'm apologizing in advance because I was so focused on said show. I totally dropped the ball on Megan's 21st birthday again.
Again, every year.
Feeling under the weather today. Megan's been running too much in that humid Florida air, so it's got the best of her. Yeah. So we'll save her voice for when we are ready. But we'll start here. Today's show is gonna be a little bit different. We're gonna break down conferences. We're gonna talk about some of the matches that have happened, some of the things that have surprised us, and we are gonna get into the playoff picture because I feel like that's important to give to the people because that's what the people want. So Megan, if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's dive into the Great Lakes Conference.
Let's do it.
All right. So the Great Lakes Conference has been a 4-team race heading into this weekend. This week, we saw the Legends and the National SC, I keep wanting to say FC, but it's SC, Soccer Club, kind of just take a strong hold of this conference. 2 top teams. They play July 8th, I believe, one another for top rights in the division. And again, I want to say conferences, but it's divisions. But the Nationals hold their own fate. 4 goals against, 23-4, 19-goal differential. The Legends will have to come in on July 8th and just do their job. It's simple as that. I think we say it's simple, but we know what soccer's like, Megan.
We do. Yeah, the Nationals have been a solid team. They kind of, I suppose, captured first last year. But weren't able to see it all the way through. So, yeah, a very strong team, and the Legends have to come out hard and see if they can match it because the Nationals have that goal-scoring power to really rack up when they're playing against those teams where they can get multiple goals, and that goal difference, we've seen it before, very, very important.
Yeah, they took care of business this past week when they played the Michigan Hawks on, what was that, Tuesday, essentially just having to keep pace. You just got to keep swimming, as Dory would say, for the Legends, and they did that against a really good Hawks team. And the Hawks have always been one of those teams that have been in the picture. I think this year was a little different for them. I think they went with more of the youth from the program, the ECNL team that has kind of aged out, essentially getting an opportunity to continue playing some way to get them fit and ready for NAIA, NCAA, whatever they're playing, but give them an opportunity to continue to grow as individual athletes.
The Hawks are definitely an interesting team. We've spoken about them multiple years in a row now. We've been doing this show. And this year they definitely did look younger to me. I think the Legends were really hoping that the Hawks could come out and do them a favor in the midweek, but 2-1. It was a very good game, but Nationals came out on top.
Yeah, and we'll see. July 8th is just around the corner. We'll see what happens with them as they go forward. So in the Great Lakes Division, it's a two-team race at this point. We'll see what happens July 8th. But right now, the way things stand, 5 wins, 0 losses, 0 ties. The only difference between the Legends SC and the Nationals, or Legends and Nationals SC, here I go getting mixed up and confuzzled again, is just goal differential. So we'll see what continues as they play. They will get ready to play each other again July 8th. That will be the game that everybody's going to pencil and circle, because that's going to decide who's the playoff team in the division.
Yeah.
In the Midwest, my goodness, we had a surprise this midweek. The Union took on Chicago Rush and ended in a 1-1 draw. The Union, who had, we'll call it, they still have a chance. You're telling me there's a chance. There's still a slight chance. They have to beat the Sirens, though, today, in order for them to have any inkling of a playoff spot. The Sirens, holding their own faith, just win. That's all they got to do. That would put them at 19 points, and they would be the representative for the Midwest Division, Megan.
Yeah, that Indiana Union game versus Chicago Rush had me shocked. The two teams played each other, and Indiana Union won 7-0. They had to then turn around and play each other again. And Indiana Union were having that midweek game, and we spoke about it a little bit with Calgary, how sometimes those midweek games can be harder because you've got players who work. The travel makes it much more difficult. You have to get a prolonged period of time off potentially. And I think that's really what we saw with Indiana Union. They traveled with a much smaller squad, and they came up against Chicago Rush, and Chicago Rush stepped up and took that opportunity and were able to grind out a draw 1-1. So quite the upset there.
We call those trap games, and that was definitely a trap game. You go in thinking, okay, well, we beat them 7-0 just a few days ago, 4 days prior, and here we go. We're going to go in, we're going to do the same thing. I don't think we have to take the same squad that we did. But, wow, the Rush really turned it around and came out with a draw, doing the Sirens a favor. I will be interested to see if Chicago Rush can do the same thing to the Sirens on July 8th and perhaps help Indiana out, maybe, potentially. But Indiana has to win. They have to win today to have an opportunity to play for that playoff spot. They start 7 p.m. Eastern, Fairfield Stadium in Cincinnati. We'll see what happens. Keep your eyes glued to that one. That's for the conference. Let's just call it what it is. Winner take all today.
Yep.
Out east, I don't even know how to dissect this. There's 8 spots. There is between number 11 and number 6. There is number 5. There's a 4-point difference between number 11 and number 5. 5 being Scorpions with 11 points. The Erie Commodores, are 11th with 7 points. So there's a lot that can shake up just today alone. If we look up some of the matchups, Megan, that are happening out east, I think the ones that grab your attention are teams playing each other. Maine Footy, Scorpions play today. Let's see, we've got Albany Rush and Sporting CT. Both those teams are in the mix. BC United needs to beat Lancaster Inferno today if they want to move on. And probably the most interesting one is going to be the Erie County Derby. What happens with the Commodores and FC Buffalo? Can the Commodores spoil some of the fun for Buffalo?
Yeah, at this point, it's who's going to be able to step up and take down Buffalo. I think it's a 6-game winning streak now. Last game, Charisma Catrona became the all-time leading scorer for FC Buffalo history, men and women, which is incredible. Congratulations to her. That is insane and speaks a lot about the attacking power that they have in that side. And I just don't know if Erie will be able to step up and take them down, but I do believe that Erie are going to give them a battle for 90 minutes because that's what we have seen. all season long from Erie.
Do we see a red card or two? I feel like it's a derby, and it could get a little testy. I kind of want to see some grit today. I don't know. I'm here for it. I'm here for some chaos.
I'm here for it. We've seen a lot of penalties this season, but not a lot of cards. So
This Erie County, though, is different. It carries a different tune. This game may get postponed, by the way, because of the fire. So hopefully everybody up in the New York area, tri-state area, is okay. Everybody's safe. We don't need to go out and play a match if the weather or the air quality is above, let's call it 115. No reason to go out there and risk health for that. So again, that game, the FC Buffalo Erie Commodores, could get postponed depending on when some of that air quality improves. Could be the end of the week, could be tomorrow. You just never know based off of the weather and how the winds blow. So hopefully everything is good up there. Up, what is that for me? East? Back east? Northeast?
next to me.
Northeast. Yeah, we'll call it Northeast, but hopefully everybody's safe and ready to play some soccer when it's proper. We'll see. But lots to discuss on that one as we go. But I think the matchup that's going to hold the most is going to be that BC United Lancaster Inferno. Look, Lancaster Inferno has done a really good job of putting in the work. They're on a 4-game winning streak. They had played 5 games in a couple of days. I think 3 games in a week is what they had played at one point, and they won. You know, Stephanie Cleves, head coach for the Inferno, really made a point that, hey, we got to do our job. We just got to win, and we control everything we do. But the big point is play our game, play the Inferno way, and we'll be fine.
Yeah. The other one for me is Sporting versus Albany. That's going to be a good game. Sporting are really, really coming into their own.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. You know, we talked before the beginning of the year about how teams always have an issue when they first come into UWS and they struggle or they aren't able to do the things they wanted to do. But look, here comes CT or Sporting CT, and they've reversed the script. I think Tiffany and company have done a very good job. I think I saw it was Tiffany and the Teenagers has done a really good job of finding resolve and ways to win games. They've won games in all fashions. They've won games, you know, with blowouts. They've won games with just having to maintain and control the midfield. They've had games where they've had to ask the keeper to do some job in terms of keeping the other team at bay. We've seen a lot of good things from Sporting CT. They're a mixed bag of athletes who can do it and put it together.
Absolutely. I mean, last week they went out and put 4 past New England Mutiny, who are a very well-established team in the UWS, and that's saying a lot. And I think we have competition for a new dynamic duo in the UWS in Tiffany Weimer and Aubrey Culper. Between them, they've scored 9 of the Sporting's last 11 goals. And it's funny because Tiff is Penn State's all-time leading goal scorer. And then you've got Aubrey, who is a rising high school senior who is committed to Penn State. And so I think that's just a really awesome dynamic duo that we're seeing in the UWS this summer.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to watch as we go. Again, this is an open race. I would say FC Buffalo has punched their ticket. Sporting Connecticut punched their ticket. Coppermine United punched their ticket. But other than that, there's still a good amount of spots that need to be picked. So 5 spots open. Lancaster Inferno can punch their ticket today with a win. But that's going to be hard because BC United could also get back in the mix with a win and put them in tied for the 5th position.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. And the really exciting thing about the East Conference, or East Division, is that we've seen it before in the playoffs where, because of how competitive it is, things can happen. And the number 1 spot is not necessarily the one that goes forward.
Yeah, and then breaking news, apparently just got word from the head of football at Maine Footy that there is a potential cancellation, which would lead to a forfeit for the Maine Footy Scorpions game this evening, which would give Maine Footy 3 points, 12 points total, dropping them into 5th place in the East. So just lots of chaos right now.
Wow.
Breaking news.
News.
Breaking news. So we'll see what happens. It will be interesting. If that is the case, disappointed that Maine is going to lose a home game, but at the same time, they will be having an inter-squad scrimmage training session this evening for their community at 7 p.m. For those of you who are paying attention, who live up in Maine, 7 p.m. tonight. We'll work on getting you guys a location for that scrimmage by the end of the show. But they will be having an inter-squad training session. Maybe throw some kids on the pitch. Let them play a little bit. Let the kids play, right?
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that when things don't always go to plan. How can you turn it into a positive situation? Engage with the community. That's awesome.
Justin and company, 22 versus 22. Can we do that? Can we do 22 versus 22? I think we can. I think we can make that happen. Why not? Hey, moving out to the Southwest Division, we've got Luxoria and Athenians playing back-to-back matches. Let's go tonight and next Saturday. Hey, let's play some soccer, they said, and I'm here for that because, look, Athenians need to win today. You lose today, you're out. If you lose today, you're out. I'm just going to put out there for the Athenians. If you lose, you're out. Make sure you get your popcorn ready because Mia and company, they're ready. They're ready.
Yeah, this is going to be a huge matchup for the Athenians. They're already starting it on social media, which I feel like gets everybody really hyped up. And yeah, to me, it's a case of, can Mia contain Kennedy Kessler, which we've seen her do it in years past. So Who knows?
Kessler, if you can keep her from getting a full head of steam and coming at you, if you can make her go sideways, if you can find ways to make her distribute, you just got to stay with her. She does a very good job after watching a couple of the matches this year. She does a really good job of finding splits and getting between the lines to receive.
Yeah.
And her wingers are always making themselves available. You've just got to figure out how to break it down and not give her the quality of space that she can jump into in order to kind of change the dynamic and the tone of the match. And if you don't, you're in trouble. Whereas with the Athenians, we had talked earlier in the year, or in the summer, I should say, about their youth and how the youth really could be a problem. But over the last couple of weeks, we've started to see some former team members, some of the gang has come back together, and the Athenians have been on a 3-game winning streak. Only conceding one time in those 3 matches.
Yeah, they definitely look like a different team to what we saw that first week. Sometimes you need that experience, even if you've got a young side. Just a couple of key players coming in. We kind of see it with Sporting, like having a leader like Tiff, who's got that experience, that maturity, makes a really big difference.
And that game this evening is going to kick off at Soccer Central, 7:30 Eastern against Luxoria. Get ready for that matchup. This is going to be one of those ones you're not going to want to miss. If you live in the San Antonio area or anywhere close in Texas to what San Antonio is located and you like soccer, get out there, watch some of this. Because it's going to be a good match. It's going to be one for, look, if Athenians win tonight, next Saturday in Dallas, Texas, it's winner take all. I'm here for that. Let's see who can take over top spot in the Southwest Division, Megan.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one. Everything to play for. You gotta leave it hot on the field, and yeah, I'm here for it. We love games like this, high pressure moments.
Oh, I was about to sneeze. Good thing I didn't. All right. Hey, Calgary Foothills, Santa Clarita Blue Heat. It's a 2-headed monster race out west. LASC has done their job. They did their job. They were able to get the points from Calgary. Calgary then went in and just, I don't know. I'm not going to say they folded. I think Ludi and company did a really good job of figuring out, the attack, working through the high press of Calgary, playing the ball out wide, doing what we saw, what was that, 2 years ago in Austin, where they would use the width, use the speed, come back inside, and here we are, LASC helping out, beating Calgary, Calgary losing to Santa Clarita Blue Heat, and the Blue Heat controlling their destiny the rest of the way. This is going to be an exciting finish because SC Blue Heat, who had problems with SC Arizona last year, travels to Arizona tonight to play them for what could potentially be the winning game for the West Division.
Yeah, this is a high pressure situation for SC Blue Heat, and I'm very interested in what their squad looks like traveling to this game, because we saw Zoe Burns come back into the side last week. We hadn't seen her all season. There is some different players that we see coming in, and then there is that core group of SC Blue Heat. And so I think their squad is going to make a big difference. Also, you've got Sade potentially going off on international duty soon. How does that affect the squad? Because she has been a monster for Blue Heat this year.
She has. I will say this, and correct me if I'm wrong, man. I think Zoe Burns was the factor in that match on Saturday, winning possession. Every 50-50, she seemed to be around. Maybe it was playing against, her friends and from her friends. I want to say she played for Foothills at one point. I'm not sure on that, but Zoe Burns definitely came in that match, winning every challenge, every 50-50. Not relenting, was very physical, setting the tone pretty much for that matchup, allowing the counterattack to get on.
Absolutely. I mean, it's hard to not say that Elizabeth Warden was the standout player, tallying a hat trick against the national championship runners-up of 2022. But it really all did start with Zoe. You're absolutely right. She was bossing it in that game. And that's what you really need, somebody who's going to disjoint Calgary, because Calgary can build it up from the back. You've got Maggie Zaxko and Grace Stordy, who can receive the ball from the goalkeeper and can build themselves. And so that is so dangerous unless you've got somebody that's going to break it up in the middle of the park and not allow them to get into that final third. Because when you've got dangerous crosses coming in, that's when Calgary can look dangerous normally, but when they cross it in, they can look even more dangerous.
Crossfire is where she was. She did not play for she did not play for Foothills, but she is familiar with a lot of those individuals because they are teammates on the U20 program for Canada, as well as the international, the main women's team for the Canadians. So I think if you look at this, back-to-back matches against FC Arizona poses a bit of a problem for Blue Heat, but I think there's a chip on their shoulder now where they're upset because last year, if you recall, FC Arizona, I believe, got the better of them once or twice. And so FC Arizona will remember those matches, use those to their advantage, but it is a different team when you have, the roster that they do for Blue Heat.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. You've got the travel factored into it. How do the fans come out? FC Arizona can really create an electric stadium if they want to, if people show up and show out. So that could be another thing that intimidates SC Blue Heat, or it could be we're going to rise to the occasion and give your fans a show.
We've talked about this before, Megan, on past shows, especially when it came to the Erie County, when we had Nick and company on talking about that derby that they have. What is the difference playing in front of a larger crowd than playing against perhaps at a park where everybody brings a folding chair and has a seat? When you have people who are there on the sidelines, behind the net, hooting and hollering, adult beverages flowing, what difference does that make?
I think it's all about the breaks in play when you really notice that. Like when you're in the game and playing, once the whistle blows, you don't really pay attention to that kind of a thing. But it's when you walk out onto the pitch for that first moment, as you're doing the walkout and you see the fans there and you see what the stadium looks like, it adds to this game really matters and people care about it. And it's bigger than just 22 players on the pitch. And so it adds a lot more pressure into the situation. And I think female players at this point, we are thriving on that pressure because we've seen it time and time again that we're stepping up onto the bigger stage and we know that we're worthy of those big crowds. And so when we see them, it fuels the fire within us to say, let's go out there and prove to them why they're here and why there needs to be crowds like this at every single women's soccer game across the world.
Just another update as well regarding the Scorpions main match. So Thursday's match, Scorpions SC won 4-2 against the Connecticut Rush, but injuries have taken the toll of the Scorpions. So it will be one of those matches where it's not because they wanted to forfeit, it's because the legs and the injuries have been brutal for them. So we wish the best of luck to Scorpions SC, and hopefully everybody's easy. It's easy enough to recover and get ready for their upcoming college seasons as well as high school seasons. But again, that game, Main Footy and Scorpions SC, will not go on today due to the injury bug that has hit Scorpions SC. Megan, so today we have a lot of matches throughout the league. What match has your attention here in week 8 of the UWS Summer of Soccer?
Yeah, as you say, a lot of really good matches. But for me, the standout is going to be Cincinnati Sirens versus Indiana Union, because this is a big decider type match. This is one that counts for a lot. And I don't know if the Union can step up and can come out of the tie that they got. It was only a tie. It wasn't a loss, but it really puts a stump in the momentum that they were building. They've already lost to the Sirens back on May 27th. They lost 2-0. I think the Sirens are really picking up momentum. But if anyone can do it in that division, it's Indiana.
If any time a draw feels like a loss, I think it has to be one of those matches.
Absolutely.
Where you've taken one with an emphatic 7-0 win, and then to have 4 days later, I don't know the distances between Chicago and Indiana, or where the Union play, but it can't be that far to where you probably should not. I mean, you got to take a full squad. You got to take a strong squad, and I'm not saying they didn't, because I don't know, but to have a 1-1 result just kind of shows you that, hey, the Rush were ready. They were ready for this matchup, and kudos to them for it. But I think the biggest thing, looking at it, could the Union have done more to make sure today's game was it? Because look, Union loses, it's over.
Yeah. They got to step up. But, you've got Jenna Lang, Brooke Bailey. Like, you've got some really solid players who know how to find the back of the net, who know how to create and take opportunities, even if the opportunities are limited. But, yeah, what we've seen is Indiana Union in multiple games get high goal tallies. In this game, they're not going to get as many opportunities to score. They're not going to get 20 chances on goal. They're not going to get 15 chances on goal. It might come down to 2, maybe 3 chances on goal. And so they have to be clinical. So they're going to need those deeper squads to be able to put in fresh legs, to be able to put in game changers when they're struggling. So I think this is going to be a really, really exciting matchup, and that kicks off tonight at 7 p.m.
Yeah, and my game this week it's going to be that Athenian game. I'm sorry. The Athenian Luxoria game is as big of a match as you could get. The Athenians looking to make the playoffs for the 3rd straight year. That's got to be something that you're holding and waiting for, because you got to get it.
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure. Just knowing that in the back of your mind, especially for those younger players who know that maybe they weren't in the squad last year, or they were in that younger next generation team, and they know what the team is capable of. They know the reputation of the Athenians in North America, that to us, They are absolutely a playoff team, and really they're a Final Four team, and that's a lot to take on. And so, yeah, that's going to be riding on those players, but they just have to spin that in a positive way. Bless you. I'm
Oh man,
sending my sickness through the screen.
I thought I'd hit the mute button.
um, but yeah, that's going to be a tough one for the Athenians to know in their brain, but they have to use that as positive energy and take that forwards and know that they are surrounded by the right people who know how to get them there. And they just have to go on the pitch and do the job.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing to think about within this match is just one game at a time. The Athenians can't look ahead. Luxuria can't look ahead. They play again next Saturday. But as it relates to the quality of both sides, this is the matchup that you want to go in and win. And I think both teams understand that. And this game could go two ways. This could be a 1-0 slugfest, or this could be, hey, let's just go out and put everything in it, and it could be 4-4. A draw, leaving a point on the pitch does Athenians no good. They have to win. The Luxuria, if they want to have that, they have to win. Like there's no fine line. There's no in between. You cannot go in and draw this match. Yeah, you can, obviously, but neither of these teams are going to want to do that today.
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting matchup. What time is kickoff for that one?
That one will kick off this evening at Soccer Central, 7:30 at Soccer Central in San Antonio, Texas.
Love that.
So we'll see. Megan, we had some goals this week.
We had some goals this week. Yeah, it was a lot of submissions for goal of the week in the top four. I think a pretty good four. We've got Marissa DiGenova of Lancaster Inferno, Margaret Osmondson, LASC. Second week in a row she's made it onto the goal of the week. Amber Best of Nationals SC. This is the Nationals' first entrance into goal of the week. And then Jenna Lang of Indiana Union.
All right, well, here we go. First goal coming from Marissa DiGenova. All right, Megan, let's get a critique on this one here. I think keeper's blinded. You've got 2 attacking players and 3, 4, 5 defensive players in your line of sight. It's a curler. Keeper sees it, but I think the keeper lost it at the last second.
Yeah, I think it's obvious that DiGenova is going to go for that left post. She's going for that left corner from that angle. So keeper knows where it's going, but it's tough to be able to get all the way across because it was very well placed. And yeah, you've got a lot of players in front of you. All
right, so Marissa on the one. Amber Best, Nationals SC. This was an important match because this was the midweek match that saw the game winner late for Nationals SC to give them kind of where they're at.
Yeah, this was a nice goal. Kind of a difficult situation. Hawks just doing anything they can.
Ooh, on the half volley.
Up comes Best.
Best doing her best. There we go. Look at this. Good technique. Good strike form here. I like it.
Yeah, we really haven't seen a volley like this all season. So,
and then just keeper got stuck still, which is interesting. Jenna Lang, Indiana Union. Look, it's either humid or hot. I can't tell. This looks hot. I'm out. How did you even see this goal, Megan?
Okay, this one, if you haven't made your screen big, make it big now. I'll give you a tip. This is going to the far post and then pinging across. So she hits it onto that left post and then it hits it and goes all the way across to the other side of the net.
I can't even see the ball here. Is it this spot right above the place? I don't even know. Okay, I can't grade that one. I just
take it back one more time. Take it back one more time.
I don't know how you were able to see this.
Okay, back a little more.
All right,
Okay.
so I see the ball at her feet.
Okay, she's gonna come into like the center of the field.
Right,
It's gonna hit
right here.
the post. Yeah, it's gonna hit the post on the left side.
I still don't see the. Oh, I saw it at like the last second. Okay, all right, fair enough. All right, and then last goal from Osmondson. Here we go. Oh, cheeky chick. Oh,
Yeah, so Osmondson actually had 2 goals in this game against Calgary, both of which were valid, entrances into goal of the week. They were lovely goals, but this one, I think the flair and the cheekiness stands out, plus the build-up play from LASC to find this space and to play that pass to break down Calgary is very top class.
and this isn't one of those that you could say, "Oh, I was out." I didn't mean to do that. This was intentional because she's outside the 18, sees the keeper up near her 6, and just has a little left-footed deke, like just a little dink, and it's a goal. I like that one.
There you go. There's your top 4. That's like
God,
good range of goals, you know? Like, you've got a volley, you've got, like, a banger from outside the box, you've got the cheekiness, and then you've got Marissa Dijanovas from a set piece through a lot of players.
yeah, Dijanova actually is the leader in the clubhouse right now for goal of the week. But hey, we also, along with goal of the week, we got saves of the week. We will let's go ahead and do saves of the week. Here we go. So, Olivia from Edgewater. Oh, that's tremendous. That is a tremendous parry right there.
Yeah, that was a big, big moment.
Cross the body. Oh, yeah. I'm in. All right. Jordan Brown had an excellent game. This save, that wasn't even the best. That might have been the best. There was one where she had like 2 or 3 in a row where she was just had to keep moving. All right. Let's see. Got Maggie for New Jersey Copa on the break.
Meg
Oh,
had a
good.
really good game as well. Lots of big saves. Very brave coming out on goal with this one.
Right-footed, able to just kind of smack it away. And last, Blues keeper, Mary Cardone. Double save.
Double save, able to hold on to it into the end. It's always good when you're able to get back up and then not just get back up and make another save, but actually catch this one so they don't get that third opportunity.
I think that one might be the biggest because if you don't, obviously the result wasn't there, but that's the way it is. Olivia leading the save of the week category for Edgewater with 61%. We can almost call that one. That one's almost.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, that's the classic goalkeeper save that really gets the fans going when you're at the full stretch.
Right-handed, big paw. There we go. And then, Megan, you also had team of the week. Your players of the week, what did you have?
Team of the week, there was a lot of players who scored hat tricks this week. And so picking out forwards, there's a lot of competition because there were so many people who stepped up big for their teams. But players of the week this week for the forwards, Elizabeth Warden takes offensive player of the week with that hat trick against Calgary. I mean, if you're scoring 3 goals against the national championship runners-up from 2022, the division leaders, that's huge. That's not easy. That's a tough game to step up and do that. So Elizabeth Warden takes the offensive. Defensive player of the week goes to Marissa Dijanova, and we saw her in that goal of the week because that's what makes her such a good player, the fact that she can get up the field and contribute, but also do her duty at the back. So she scored 3 goals in 2 games while also shutting down the defense, keeping, I think they conceded just 1 goal that week. They got 6 points, which was huge for the Inferno, as we discussed earlier. So very well done to Marissa there. And then goalkeeper of the week, we saw one of her saves there, Jordan Brown from SC Blue Heat. A 3-0 scoreline against Calgary sounds very flattering to Blue Heat, but Calgary were there. Calgary were putting shots on goal, and Brown came up really big, especially in that second half. So those were your players of the week. And then team of the week, you can head on over to UWS to see all of that. But some of the players we've got were defender Zoe Burns. We spoke about her. Absolutely had to make it into the pack. Maggie Zaxko also on that back line because she was that driving force of the Calgary attack. Jenna Lang, 4 goals, 1 assist, make it into the team of the week. Amber Best, Margaret Osmondson, McCullough Woods from Cincinnati Siren has been an absolute force this season. And then you've got that dynamic duo to round off the team of Aubrey Culper and Tiffany Weimer from Sporting CT. Because if you put one of them in, you have to put the other. Aubrey had 3 goals and 1 assist, and Tiff had 3 assists and 1 goal. I mean, that was just class. And I don't know if you have the footage, Jonathan, but goal 4 from that game was insane. If you haven't checked it out, you have to check it out. They had possession for about a minute before they scored, build up all the way from the back, and then Tiff was able to find the back of the net. And that goal, really losing my voice here, that goal sums up Sporting CT, I think, because they've been able to instill this style of play where they build it up through the thirds, they get it out wide, they find it inside, and it's truly beautiful to watch.
Yeah, I'm not finding it. Let me see if I can find it on. I swore. Oh, you know what? It was Instagram where I saw it. Let me see if I can find it. I think it was on Tiffany's.
It'll be on 11 Sports, listed as goal in the 77th minute if you can see it.
Let me go back to 11 because I did not see that match on 11. Midtown Sporting.
It comes up, yeah.
There we go.
Yeah,
All right.
Midtown Sporting, yeah.
Let's see. Where did it go?
77th minute.
It's funny you can't pull that match up.
Really?
No, it's not letting me pull it up from the 24th. I know they had a couple of issues regarding that, some of the footage that came through. Let me see if this one works. There we go. This one worked. Okay. 77th minute.
Yeah.
Not the chance. So it's the goal in the 77th minute. We're going to go here. All right. Little blurry, but we can make this work. All right, so this is the goal that Megan was referring to as it related to the Mutiny Sporting game and Tiffany's goal. Here we go. Sporting, by the way, is wearing the dark, not the light color.
And so this goal, let me preface, you could even go further back and you would see that they still had possession.
So this is the goal they scored. Let's see. Well,
you might want to, if you use your tab to then get it onto your arrows using it, because the scrollers are really difficult to use.
We're good. Here we go. All right. So Mutiny from the kickoff, playing through, able to hold possession. I think this is where they start to lose possession. No, that's just kickball.
Yeah,
right,
go from here.
So defense at third, saves it. Out of touch. Okay. So 76th minute on a goal kick is where it starts. All right, here we go. That's the third pass. I'm going to count passes.
See, goal of the week typically is like that final moment, but this is team goal of the year for me. Absolutely.
Seventeen passes. 17 passes from the back to the front.
A minute.
That's an excellent goal.
A minute of possession. If you want to talk about what the UWS is like, there you go. That is top class from Sporting CT. Absolutely love to see it.
So Megan's given her she's tipped her hat to goal of the year as it relates to a team. But in terms of the Golden Boot race, Caitlin Crone from Albany Rush leads with 9 goals this year. Barbaric from FC Buffalo, she can get back in the race today. She's got 8. Jenna Lang, Indiana Union, 8. The mentioned Tiffany Weimer and the teenagers, she has 8 goals. The top 4 there for goals of the year, or for Golden Boot race. For assists, we have Emerson Sargent from Michigan Jaguar. She's got 6. She's tied for first with Tiffany Weimer, and Emma Antone with Indiana Union with 5 assists. There's your top 3. And Barbaric, Marcella Barbaric, Marcy Barbaric from FC Buffalo rounding out that top 4 for assists of the year. For saves, LASC's Anna Bozzi McKay with 51 saves. The next best is Hannah Johnson from FC Berlin with 37. That's a pretty big jump there for LASC. 51 saves for the year, and having the record that they have, a winning record, I might add, is really impressive.
That's super impressive. I mean, I think that shows you the goal scoring talents that are in the West Conference, because they're taking shots after shots after shots, and she's coming up really big. So congratulations to her.
And then this year's minutes leader, Sonia Rada from Coppermine, 568 minutes so far, leading the race for Iron Woman of the Year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised by that, because if I was picking that team, I would be putting her at center back every single game because she's so solid.
Very good aerial, winning every 50-50, every challenge. Done a really good job this year for Coppermine, keeping them in the race out east. But hey, lots of soccer to be played today. We hope everybody enjoys what they see. Drop us a line over on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram regarding what match you're actually interested in, and tell us why. Be happy to know kind of what everybody in the UWS is excited to see.
Absolutely.
And then hopefully some big announcements regarding the national championship coming this week. Megan's working on some stuff behind the scenes, hopefully getting us ready. I'm a little disappointed. I thought we were going to have it ready to talk about today, Megan. Just
Me too. It's not my fault. That's all.
It's nobody's fault. It's nobody's fault. It's just making sure that there's an ability to make sure it happens where we want it to happen, right?
Absolutely. And as soon as we can get you the news, we'll get it to you, and then we'll be discussing it for sure.
We'll have a midweek show just for the national championship. Instead of doing the announcement, here, check this out. We're just going to do one. We're going to do a show for it. I'm in. Pack your bags, everybody. Get them ready. It's going to be a flight. It's going to be a flight. Of course, it's going to be a flight for anybody who's got to go to it. But hey, have a great weekend. Enjoy the soccer. Enjoy each other. Happy 4th of July weekend. Stay out of the heat if you're in California. It's supposed to be 109 here in Sacramento today. Yeah, it's already, what is the temperature outside? It's already 72. It's almost pool weather. Almost pool weather today. So You're used to the humidity. I'm used to the heat. Here we go. Here's that dry heat that we always talk about. And I'm the silly guy who's going to the rodeo tonight when it's 109. So, you know,
Yikes.
hey, but for everybody here with UWS, for Megan and myself, cheers, everyone. Enjoy the weekend. We'll talk to everybody on the other side next Saturday. Join us live.